Hello and welcome, it's FormulaXbox, it's Season 4, and we're in Melbourne for Race 1 of the new season. I'm your commentator for all the rounds on the official highlights, Kgibs F1. And so, we're on board with ElusiveKev, and the season is underway. He seems to have got a good launch, he seems to be gaining ground on the Mercedes of Kel's next to him, the front pack, and hooked it up very nicely indeed. And it's all getting very tight into the McLaren, very deep into the corner there, and we've got two cars off, Sam and Random Beats I believe, the McLaren and the Marussia, and so into turn 3, can anyone make a diving manoeuvre? Oh, it's getting very tight between Drastic Midget, McLaren and the Williams, and just about make it through that contact. So here we are with Legion on board. It'll be interesting to see just who benefited at the start there, considering the front pack seemed to get away very nicely indeed. And so into turn 1, he seemed to get a bit of contact with Casey Legend from behind, a Lotus, not too much in it, but then we have, like I said, the Marussia and the McLaren both off. Be interested to see exactly from their perspective what happened there, and see Drastic Midget making the manoeuvre into turn 3, couldn't quite get it done though, and just about avoided the contact. And so here goes Sam, one of the unfortunate drivers who made contact into turn 2. The apex of 2, and so just comes in there and oh yeah, contact with Random Beats, side pod glitch, nothing particularly in it. It's an unfortunate part of F1 2013, the side pod glitches. No one likes to see them, but they happen every now and again. And so on board with RSTRM at the start, he seemed to be particularly punchy off the lines. He didn't get a great first phase, and Insignia right alongside him, he pushed him right up, but quite aggressively to the edge of the track, aggressively defending his position. We like to see that kind of punchy defending, as long as it's safe, and that, like that incident in particular was. And so he tries it on the outside in turn 3, gets it all out of shape, and in fact loses 2, 3, maybe even 4, yes, 4 positions, as he has the dirt on his tyres. So that's a lot of work for him to do, but I'm sure he's able and up to it. And so here we go with Drastic Midget in between the McLaren and the Williams. There's 3 abreast, and who's going to back out of this first? It's the Red Bull, and quite rightly so. It's always going to end in contact if the 3 of them try to go into the apex of 11 side by side. And here it is from Legion's perspective, lap 2, and he's still battling it out with the McLaren of Arte. These 2 guys from the TGP series when it used to be on Xbox, so they're well used to each other's racing, and they probably know each other's driving styles inside and out, as they're on side by side going to turn 11. Legion seems to have the high ground. Bollard is gone, see you later, and Arte's just got the move done as Legion goes wide, and here comes Drastic Midget. He wants a piece of the action. It's all getting very hectic on this second lap, and so Legion hanging out on the outside, Drastic Midget, and is he going to slam the door? That's exactly what he's going to do. Into turn 14, he slams the door shut, and very good driving from the pair of them there. And so here we go with Stopmat and RSTRM. Well, that was a very ambitious cutback manoeuvre, and the 2 of them are run very wide. RSTRM definitely ran him out of road there. He had the high ground for the corner, and Stopmat was always going to lose out there, I feel. But thumbs up for him for that ambitious manoeuvre. He certainly wasn't leaving anything on the table there. As quite rightly so against RSTRM, you can't hang about, you're going to get the moves done when you can. And so here goes Sam on his fight back, after the unfortunate collision with Random Beats early on. And he's right alongside Drastic Midget, got great traction out of there, hooked it up very nicely, and used a bit of his curves too. And this seems like it's going to be a simple manoeuvre, and it is, from the Tier 2 graduate. And so, he seems to be on quite a nice comeback now. He's coming up to the back of Legion. And so, Drastic Midget in P7 on lap 5, on the back of Arte, probably thinking about making a stop, judging by the schedule. Catron of Laney, all out of shape, out of there. Obviously the reserve driver, he doesn't score points. The Tier 2 driver, and very opportunistic from Drastic Midget there, sneaks cheekily ahead of Arte on the way into the pits, but I think he's going to lose out with the 2 of them coming in, because Red Bull did the double shuffle. And he must have lost a second there, and yes he has. So, after that cheeky manoeuvre there, Drastic Midget unfortunately lost out to Arte, even though I praise him for his audacious move on the outside of turn 15. But anyway, here goes Casey Legend up the inside of the Mercedes of Kells. And here goes Stockmat on the outside of Cartman. Obviously, Kells and Cartman haven't made their stops yet, so perhaps it's time for them to come in for some new tyres. But people moving up through the field now, lots of overtakes as people were on fresh tyres and some other people were on old rubber. But here we go, Stockmat on ElusiveKev. And is he going to try a similar move to what he did to AlexStoppXbox? ElusiveKev's on very defensive on the way in and allows for the cutback on the exit. What a lovely overtake, but I don't think it's done yet, because ElusiveKev is still hanging out on the outside, perhaps even if it occurs. And now into the turn 12, and he's made the move. Turn 13, he's made the move stick, and it's a beautiful overtake, perhaps the best we've seen so far in this race. We've seen some great overtaking in this FormulaXbox league. That's something that makes it one of the best to be part of on Xbox. And here goes Sam continuing his charge, fight back through the field. I've been very impressed with the tier 2 drivers in general since they've graduated. We've had Insignia, Sam and Arte, all drivers who have graduated from the tier 2 after its inception in season 3. It's proved very, very competitive indeed, and we've actually come to expect these guys to really take it to the established tier 1 names. And so, speaking of established tier 1 names, here's the guy who's been in it since the start. Legion, one of the only originals one of the few originals remaining now. And he's battling out with Arte still. These two have been battling out all race, it seems. And so a three-way battle here between the Mercedes, the Williams and the McLaren. So where's it going to go? Arte on the outside of Legion. Kell seems to have hooked it up well on the exit of 1. He seems to have pulled away a bit, but he seems to have gone deep. Arte on the inside. Kells has gone wide. Legion's taken the position, and Legion's gained out of that, even though it looked like he was about to lose a position to Arte, who made it through as well, in fact. And so later on the lap, these two are still continuing their battle, and Arte seems to be using a couple of curves out the exit of 10, and he's right on the... Oh, contact. Legion out onto the grass, and it lost a bit of front wing, and Drastic Midget is very close to him. Too close for comfort, perhaps, on the exit of 12 there, as the bollard went for walkies once again, and Drastic Midget almost loses his whole front wing, chips off a bit, and unsighted out of there, almost had the contact, and he's in the action, thick of it once again, as Stockmat makes the move for P6. And someone come out of the pits here. Can Stockmat make the double move? It seems to be Casey Legend. He's had a pretty eventful race as well. And so Stockmat almost tries to have a go, and it's like all contact. Drastic Midget came out of nowhere there, and perhaps it was a bit of lag bubble, I'm not entirely sure, but Stockmat certainly lost out there, and Casey Legend breathes a sigh of relief as he had Stockmat swarming all over the back of him. Very nice to see sporting driving there from Drastic Midget, allowing the position back to Stockmat. Let's see if he was at fault here. I believe it might have been yes. Unfortunately for Drastic Midget, very late on the brakes, just missed his braking point, went in too deep, and caught Stockmat unawares there. And good to see the sporting driving from them back through though. With 1 lap to go, we're back to the action. We've got Casey Legend going on the inside of Arte there. So Casey Legend really gaining ground there on the penultimate lap. And we see ElusiveKev lock up the unloaded tyre actually into turn 9, very rare to see. But here we have the race leader, Insignia. He's going to take his first tier 1 victory, and he's gone and beaten RLSTRM fair and square in this race. Could we have a championship battle this season? Proving that the tier 2 guys are really super competitive coming into this season. We've got Insignia first place in his Mercedes, RLSTRM second, Sam F1 LFC third, Casey Legend fourth, Stockmat fifth, and Arte in 6th. So, Insignia, what a win, what a way to start the season, and what a way to lay down the gauntlet to the established tier 1 names, and more importantly RLSTRM. But thanks very much for watching. I'll leave you with your race winner, Insignia. Thank you very much. Goodbye.